If you are not paying attention to what the CFTC just did, you are going to be left behind by a government-backed financial revolution that's happening right now. Seriously, this isn't just a news headline. This is the full-on weaponization of Ripple's technology to protect the US dollar.
And here's the twist. While everyone was completely distracted by the SEC's lawsuits and all the public drama, the real game was being played behind closed doors. And let me tell you, the winners have already been picked. The war on crypto utility, it's over.
So, let's connect the dots. By the time we're done here, you are going to understand the secret blueprint, the one that links the CFTC, the SEC, and a secret White House deadline. It's a coordinated master plan, and it puts Ripple right at the heart of America's financial future.
Okay, first up, what we are witnessing is a monumental shift in strategy. The US government is no longer treating certain crypto assets as the enemy. Nope, it's turning them into a strategic weapon for global economic dominance.
This brings us to the core idea here, the weaponization of Ripple's new dollar-backed stablecoin, RLUSD. Look, we're not talking about just another stablecoin. This is the strategic embedding of Ripple's tech deep inside the US financial system. Why? To fight back against foreign CBDCs and make damn sure the dollar stays on top. This is about national economic security, plain and simple.
So, the big question is, how did they pull this off? How did they make this legal? Well, it wasn't just one thing. It was a series of incredibly precise, coordinated legal moves between the SEC and the CFTC that paved the way for this entire operation. And this slide right here shows you the critical pivot point. For years, the SEC was waging this war on crypto, creating total uncertainty by calling XRP a security. Well, that whole era is over. A brand new framework has officially reclassified XRP as a digital commodity. Now, this isn't just some legal mumbo-jumbo. It's a strategic handoff of power to the much more innovation-friendly CFTC. The goal has shifted from punishment to integration.
And here it is. This is the bombshell. The CFTC has just expanded its list of what counts as eligible collateral, and they specifically included payment stablecoins that are issued by national trust banks. You have to understand how significant this is. This isn't a broad rule for every stablecoin out there. It's a precision move that directly benefits Ripple's upcoming RLUSD. It's a green light to use it as margin in the multi-trillion-dollar derivatives markets. Game-changing.
But this one move, as big as it is just a single piece of a much, much larger puzzle. Before we get to that secret White House deadline that's about to force the hands of banks like JP Morgan, you have to see how it fits into the grand strategy.
And by the way, if you are watching this without a subscription to Crypto Global News, you are missing the critical alerts. This is moving way too fast to be behind the curve. Click subscribe right now. You need to stay on the timeline for the Project Crypto rollout.
You see, these regulatory moves are not random. Not at all. They are carefully coordinated steps in a unified federal initiative, an initiative that actually has a name. They're calling it Project Crypto. This slide breaks down what they call the collateral loop. It's pretty genius. Step 1, Ripple issues its regulated stablecoin RLUSD. Step 2, that same RLUSD becomes eligible margin with the CFTC, all thanks to that new rule. Step 3, this unlocks access to the absolutely massive futures markets. And the final result, Step 4, is that the US dollar's dominance is secured for the digital age. That's the weaponization process right there. And this whole framework, this entire joint mission between the SEC and the CFTC to finally end regulation by enforcement and build a unified system, it's all officially called Project Crypto. And its stated goal is to make sure the future of global finance is built right here, on American soil, using American technology. So what does this mean for the big banks? The implications are just massive. We're actually breaking this all down right now in our latest community post. What do you think their next move is going to be? Are they going to panic, or are they going to partner up? Join the conversation over there right after this briefing. Now let's talk about the timeline, because this isn't some far-off, distant future plan. No, there is an immediate, time-sensitive deadline that is forcing this whole situation to come to a head right now. Mark your calendar. Tuesday, February 10th. This is the deadline. It was set by the White House, and it's designed to force a final resolution between the major banks and crypto leaders on one critical issue: stablecoin yield. And this deadline didn't just come out of nowhere. This timeline shows it's the culmination of months of careful planning. It all started back in September 2025 with Caroline Phom's crypto sprint,
where, guess what, Ripple was a key participant. That led to the official launch of Project Crypto in early 2026, and now, this February 10th deadline is the final pressure point. It's meant to bring the big banks, the JP Morgans and the Bank of Americas of the world, into the fold, whether they like it or not.
And this brings us to Ripple's endgame. With the regulatory path now cleared and the banks being forced to the negotiating table, there's just one final piece needed to complete this entire picture.
And here it is. The one thing Ripple still needs to get is a National Trust Bank Charter from the OCC. Look, this isn't just another license. This is the final key. It's the authorization they need to legally issue the very stablecoin, RLUSD, that this entire U.S. government strategy now depends on. And believe me, they are on the verge of getting it.
The takeaway here is profound. XRP and RLUSD have fundamentally changed. They're not just digital assets for us to debate anymore. They are now the strategic rails for the new American-led digital economy.
And for our viewers in the United States, I cannot stress this enough. You need to understand this framework. It is absolutely critical for your portfolio. This isn't some abstract thing happening overseas. This is a fundamental rewrite of American financial rules, and it's happening in real time. Things are moving incredibly fast, way too fast for most people to keep up. To get the updates and analysis before anyone else, you need to be in our private Telegram group. Scan the QR code you see on your screen right now, or just use the link in the description to join. Which leaves us with one final urgent question. The government has built the new financial rails. We know who they want to get on board. But which institution will be the first one to be forced onto the track? We're breaking down the most likely candidates, the banks that are most at risk, in our very next briefing. Click the video on your screen right now to find out exactly who's first in line. Don't get left behind. Like this briefing, share it, and make sure you are subscribed to Crypto Global News.
Stay ahead in the crypto market. Subscribe now for the latest global news and updates.